Good evening, everyone. I'm Jerry D'Ambrosio, and welcome to this week's special presentation. Discipline and the ability to control emotions are a few of the characteristics that separates the very best traders from the average retail investor. And in a moment, I'm going to demonstrate a proven, easy-to-follow system that takes the guesswork out of swing trading. But first, let's talk about some of those characteristics. A professional trader is able to control their emotions. I know this is easier said than done, but they don't allow losing trades to affect them. Jim Penna, the manager of retirement services here at VectorVest, once told me a story. When he was a floor trader, he used to look around and try to get a sense of how the traders were doing, how their days were going. And he told me that he never could get a good feel if they were making money or if they were losing money. Their demeanor was always very even-keeled. It's because they don't think of the money first. They focus on doing the right things and making the right trades. They know if they do that, the money will come. And also, a professional trader is disciplined. They stay sharp and focused when things are going well, and resilient when they're not. So they have a plan and they stick to it. Things aren't always going to go well. You will experience losses. You will experience a cluster of losses. You may have a bad week. You may have a bad month. Hopefully you don't have bad years, and every year, year over year, you continue to outperform the market. But the thing that separates a professional trader from an average investor is they stick to that plan, despite occasional bumps in the road. What I want to show you tonight is called the RSI-2 trading system. It was developed by Larry Connors. You may have heard of Larry Connors. He's written a lot of books on trading. He's a trader. He has over 30 years in the financial markets industry. This strategy focuses on stocks in long-term uptrends, but are pulling back and are experiencing short-term corrections. And what I love about this system is that it's so simple. It only uses 3 indicators: a 200-day moving average to identify the long-term trend, and a 5-day moving average, and a 2-period relative strength index for the short-term trend. Let me show you how the strategy works. Here we're looking at Procter & Gamble from November of 2018 to November of 2019. Don't worry about the time frame here. It's the technique that I want to teach you. We will look at a more recent example of Procter & Gamble in a moment. Procter & Gamble over this time period, it's a great stock. Overall price goes from bottom left to upper right. Stays above the 200-day moving average the entire time, but pulls back from time to time and falls below its 5-day simple moving average. That's the white line running through price. So long-term uptrend, short-term correction. The final layer to this trading system is the relative strength index. I've plotted RSI at the bottom of the chart. RSI is scaled between 0 and 100 with the industry standard look-back period of 14, with the extreme lower level at 30 and the extreme upper level at 70. And you can plot this on any stock over time showing the RSI movement. Using the industry standard settings, you can see that the RSI fell below 30 only once. I actually had to go back further. We were looking at from November of 18 to November of 19, but as you can see, during that time period, the RSI never went below 30. So I had to go back a little bit to see when the 14 period RSI fell below 30. We could see it did that once. Great buying opportunity, but it only happened once. What Larry Connors does is he speeds up the indicator and changes the look back period to 2. And when you do that, you also have to adjust your extreme levels. So along with price above the 200-day moving average, but below the 5-day moving average, and the 2-period RSI below 10, there's your setup. There's your trade. Price above the 200-day moving average, long-term uptrend, but falls below the 5-day moving average and the 2-period RSI below 10, short-term correction. So let's take a look at what this trading plan looks like on paper. Our entry rules are that we are going to buy when the stock is above the 200-day moving average but below the 5-day simple moving average with the 2-period RSI below 10, and we enter near the close of the day. And when I trade this system, I put a market order in at about 3:55 p.m. Eastern Time. I don't mess around with limit orders only because I want the trade to execute and I want to get in right before the close of the day. Our exit criteria is that we are going to exit when price goes above the 5-day simple moving average, and we are going to exit near the close of the day as well. And I'm going to put a market order in right around 3:55 p.m. Eastern Time to exit the trade. So let's take a look at some examples. On July 23rd of 2019, we have a setup. We know from looking at the long-term chart that throughout the entire time from November of 18 to November of 19, the stock's price was above the 200-day moving average. But when we zoom in here, like I did to July of 2019, you notice we don't see that purple line anymore. We don't see the 200-day moving average. But we know that on July 23rd, 2019, price was above the 200-day moving average, but closing below the 5-day moving average and the 2-period RSI below 10. So we buy it near the close of the session at 113.85. Now I don't know what the price of the stock was at 3:55 p.m. Eastern Time on July 23rd of 2019. So for the purposes here, I'm just going to use the closing price of that day. We buy it at 113.85. We sell it 3 days later at $114.73. That's a winning trade. Why do we sell it on that day? Because price is about to close above that 5-day moving average. Notice it opened below it, crossed above it during the day. We're not just going to exit the trade when price crosses above the 5-day moving average during the day. We're going to wait to the end of the session, 3:55 p.m. Eastern Time. We see that price is about to close above the 5-day. We exit at roughly 114.73. That's a winning trade. The very next day, there's another setup. On July 24th, price is still above the 200-day moving average, but about to close below the 5-day moving average and the 2-period RSI below 10. If you didn't buy it the day before, you had an opportunity on July 24th. We buy it at 113.15. We sell it a couple of days later at $114.73, right near the close of the session, for another winning trade. Moving from left to right, I'm not cherry picking dates, I am literally moving from left to right, showing you every single RSI2 setup. So the very next RSI2 setup was on August 5th of 2019. Price is still above the 200-day moving average, but pulling back, about to close below the 5-day moving average and the 2-period RSI below 10. So we buy it near the close of that session at 113.08. We sell it a couple of days later at $115.52. Price we see is about to close above the 5-day moving average, so we exit the trade. The next setup was on September 10th of 2019. Price is still above the 200-day moving average, so we're still in a long-term uptrend. But it has pulled back, fell below the 5-day moving average with the 2-period RSI below 10, short-term correction. We buy near the close of that session at 119.88. We sell 2 days later at a very nice gain, $122.77. Price gapped up on that day, closed little off of the session high, but above the open, and more importantly, above the 5-day simple moving average. That's another winning trade. The next setup was on October 2nd of 2019. Price still above the 200-day moving average, but below the 5-day moving average, 2-period RSI below 10. We buy it at 121.08. We sell it 2 days later at another nice gain at $124. Price opened that day below the 5-day moving average, but closed above it, so we exit right near the close of the session for another nice gain. So here on October 14th of 2019, we have another setup. Price is still above the 200-day moving average, but about to close below the 5-day moving average, and the 2-period RSI dipped below 10. We didn't buy it the day before, or the day before that, even though price closed below the 5-day moving average, because that 2-period RSI did not dip below 10. So we buy it at 120.05, and we sell it 5 days later at $119.08. Notice that's a losing trade. So you may be wondering about stop losses. Well, Larry Connors developed this system not using stop losses. He felt that stop losses over time would hurt performance. So instead of using the term stop loss, he laid it out as an exit criteria. We sell always when the price of the stock is about to close above the 5-day moving average. Sometimes, as you can see here, that might result in a losing trade. Most of the time, it doesn't. The very next day, we have another setup, right? So if you didn't buy it the day before on October 14th, you had an opportunity to buy it on October 15th at $117.20. If you did buy it on that day, remember you didn't buy it the day before, maybe you didn't have any buying power the day before, or you were on vacation, or you just weren't watching the market. You were watching the market on October 15th, and you saw that Procter & Gamble had an RSI 2 setup. So if you buy it at 117.20, you sell it at 119.08, that's another winning trade. A couple of days later, you had another opportunity. So again, I'm showing you all setups, every single setup for this stock over the time period that we're looking at. So here we have another setup on October 17th, 2019. We buy it at 116.63. We sell it at 119.08. So that was only 8 examples. 7 wins, 1 loss. So what I did was I went all the way back to November of 2018, and I brought my analysis to current for that one stock. And over that time period, probably looking at about 20 months, there were 27 RSI 2 setups. Remember, I just showed you 8 of them. Of those 27 RSI 2 setups, there were 24 winning trades and 3 losing trades. That's an 89% winning trade percentage. Now here's a trading system, an automated trading system centering around the RSI 2 stock selection system that I just taught you. And the stock selection system is price above the 200-day moving average, but below the 5-day moving average and the 2-period RSI below 10. This system bought stocks that met that criteria from February 8th of 2010 all the way to current. The difference with this trading system that you see here is the exit criteria, and it's a subtle difference. The only reason there is a difference is because within the VectorVest confines, there is no way to automate price closing above the 5-day moving average as a stop criteria. So I made some adjustments. Again, using the same RSI 2 stock selection system with a slight variation to the exit criteria, this trading system since February 8th of 2010 is up 544% with 91% winning trade. That's 52% a year. 91% winning trades is 202 winners and only 15 losing trades over this 10.5-year period. The VectorVest composite has more than doubled over that time period, but you can clearly see this outperforms the market year after year. And I know it took a big hit recently, but it's just about back to its all-time highs. So I hope you folks enjoyed tonight's presentation and learned a little something about how professional traders handle adversity, and also a very simple, easy to follow trading system that produces a tremendous amount of winners. What I want to leave you with here is a webcast series that Steve Chappell and I designed called Trade Like a Pro. And during this course, we teach you techniques from 3 of the very best professional traders in the industry. You'll learn top trading strategies of the pros and how to quickly and easily identify the best trades. I hope you saw that if you learn to implement strategies like the one I showed you today, you're going to get there. You're going to achieve the success that you're looking for. So here's a recent example of Procter & Gamble. I told you I'd show you a recent example. Notice how during most of February, March, April, May, June, July, the 2-period RSI dipped below 10, didn't it? A number of times. But we didn't take any trades. We didn't buy Procter & Gamble because the underlying trend of the stock was down. So you might be wondering, well, how can this system help me in a market like we've experienced in February and March? Well, it only focuses on stocks in long-term uptrends, so you don't place any trades in those types of market environments. You let your stop criteria take you out, and you just don't buy stocks in this type of an environment where the underlying trend has been down for so long. Part of the Trade Like a Pro 6-session webcast series, you will also get this trading system. This automated trading system with, again, a slight variation to the exit criteria that has produced 91 winning trades since February of 2010, with the overall market only going up 100%. And the 6 modules that you will receive immediately after you register are as follows. Module 1, we make sure that you understand how to get into the correct mindset. This is a trader's course, so you have to start thinking about how the pros think. We talk about risk management and order entry. In Module 2, we teach you a couple of bullish and bearish candlestick reversal patterns. In Module 3, we teach you how to recognize what the market is doing. It can trend, it can channel, it can hit extremely oversold situations. And then we'll teach you the indicators to use in those types of market environments. Then we come in and we talk about our first professional trader's technique. It's called the Holy Grail. Steve Chappell will teach you this system for both bullish and bearish markets that was developed by a woman by the name of Linda Ratchke. I'll come in Module 5, teach you 2 systems, one called the 50-50 strategy, the other called 80 Excellence. These systems were developed by Charles Schaap. And then the highlight of the course in Module 6, we'll talk more about the RSI-2 trading system, particularly for bearish market environments, and then a system that Larry Connors has developed exclusively to trade ETFs. As an added bonus, we're also going to give you this 6-session webcast series called Master the Art of Candlestick Analysis. We normally sell this course for $995. We're going to give it to you free as part of the Trade Like a Pro 6-week series. Also, as a bonus, we're going to provide you with 6 live mastery support sessions. These are designed to help you implement what you've learned in the course. We'll take a look at the things that you're doing, questions you have. Steve and I will be giving you homework assignments, and we'll go over those homework assignments in the mastery sessions. We'll be there to guide you through this entire process. You'll also get 60 days access to VectorVest Real-Time if you don't already have it. We're also going to do a live trading session. This is essentially Module 7. I love this session because it just takes everything, it wraps it all up, and we go through everything from market analysis to trade setup to trade execution and then trade management. And this is huge too. Exclusively for workshop attendees, you will receive pre-built searches that make finding your trades a breeze. You are probably thinking, great, they teach us all of these techniques, but how on earth will we find stocks to actually trade? Well, the legwork has been done already. I built these scans to quickly and easily find the best candidates to trade, and they will be inserted into your VectorVest 7 program so you don't have to build them yourselves. And also, you will get this trading system centering around the RSI-2 system. Now, the RSI-2 system, as I taught it earlier tonight, is a manual process. You have to manually close positions at the end of the day when the price of the stock is about to close above the 5-day moving average. This is automated. Again, a slight variation to the exit criteria. You will get that exit criteria, and you'll get all of the variables included in this trading system. More importantly, you get as close to hands-on training as possible by both myself and Steve Chappell. Steve and I will be manning the chat rooms during the mastery sessions, and you can ask us questions throughout the course. Now, this course is valued at $29.95, but our early bird rate is still available for $24.95. And here are the dates for the live mastery sessions. Our first live mastery support session will be on July 29th at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. They will be recorded and they will be uploaded each week to our new VectorVest University. And the 6th mastery session will be on September 2nd, again at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. Our live trading session will be on Tuesday, September 8th, and that session will start an hour before the market opens. It'll start at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Again, there's a lot of work that needs to be done before the market opens. There's market analysis. Are we bullish or are we bearish? If we're bullish, we'll run the scans that we give you. We'll set up the portfolios. We'll understand where our confirmation levels are. When do we take the trade? What needs to happen in order for us to take the trade? If we do take the trade, where's our exit criteria? So you can go to that website, www.vectorvest.com/TLP to register. So Steve and I both look forward to working with all you folks. I hope you enjoyed tonight's special presentation. Have a great evening, everybody.
Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. Now, if you're new to the software or would like refresher information about the software, click on this Getting Started video right here. Thanks to all of your input, here's a YouTube video that we think would be perfect for you. Click right here. If nothing else, folks, just hit the subscribe button right here.